Oh man, where'd the thing go? I just got used to it. The little whatever it is, I guess the transition thing goes with it this time. But anyway, guys, how are y'all doing? We are here to talk about episode 2 of The Last of Us. And I'm gonna reiterate what Matt said to Discord after we got through watching maybe even the first episode, and then the second episode of The Last of Us. Man, is it fun to watch something you totally enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the type of show that like so not- it's not like, oh man, I'm not feeling like very energetic, man. I really don't care to watch the day it comes out. This is a show that I'm gonna watch it whatever I got to do on like Sunday night when it comes out. That's how good it is, at least to me. But we'll go around. Brandi, we know
Yes.
you have thoughts about this particular episode. What you got?
I'm upset.
A lot of people are.
I'm upset because they killed off Pedro Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like that.
Yeah, Brandi did not know this was coming. She's not a big video gamer
Me
and doesn't
neither.
know anything about The Last of Us in the video game. So yeah, Matt's the same way. So it was kind of fun being able to watch like the episode. I didn't think they were going to do it this early. I didn't think they were going to do it in episode 2. I thought it was going to be later in the season, or maybe the very beginning of the season 3, since they've already said they were going to do 3 seasons. With this happening, I'm like the way the episode started and everything. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
like Brandi might be upset. So
Mm.
looks like Brandi might be upset about the episode.
I almost rage quit.
A lot, a lot of people that didn't know about the game previously and the story behind it, it's gonna be like that at first, but it's like a Game of Thrones thing, especially like early Game of Thrones, where like the Red Wedding happened. A lot of people are like pissed and throwing shit. Like one of the coolest things is to go watch on YouTube, like the real reactions, not like streamers or anything, because obviously they overdo it on purpose and set it up. But it's like people that randomly like grabbed their phone because they had read the books and they knew what was going to happen, so they were all like ready and they like put their camera and stuff up real quick and stuff in their house, watching it with their friends and then having their friends react to it. That was some really cool stuff. I'd be kind of interested in seeing how many people possibly did that for this episode of Last of Us. The people that knew it was going to happen, if they were watching it with people that didn't have, that they didn't know what was going to happen. But one of the things I'll say is like I will say the show does a better job. A lot of people got pissed off at the second game. A lot of people were mad and everything about the second game. It still sold well just because off the Last of Us game was so good and so well received that it sold millions and millions of copies. The second one still sold a decent amount. It dropped in sales from the first one, but yeah, people wasn't happy with it for a couple of reasons. One of them is in the video game. To me, they don't set it up as good. One of the things I'll bring up here is like this scene with Abby at the very beginning of the episode. Like in the video game, you don't know the backstory. You don't see that. In the last episode, we saw her with her group of people standing in front of a bunch of graves from where Joel had killed everybody there. And in this episode, it starts off with her like going back. She's dreaming of going back and seeing her father. That's what she's doing right here. She's walking through the little hospital door there, and like she sees her father for the first time. And like I thought this was a really cool way to do it. Actually, a little dream sequence there, and that gives you some more background about what Abby's doing. Now, in the video game, they didn't do that. It was like a total shock. They didn't give you no reason, and then they had you play as Abby as a character who just killed one of your favorite characters. So a lot of people hated that, and they made you play through a little bit of the backstory of Abby to find out why she possibly was going to do it. So it wasn't about halfway through the game before you found out why Abby did it in the first place. I really like the way the show set it up. They gave you the reason.
Yeah.
Like the shock value was is she actually was able to accomplish what she was doing. Because if you didn't know nothing about the game, you were like sitting back going, "Oh, well, they're not going to kill Joel." Like he just, especially at that moment in the episode when he saves her life, you're like, she's gonna like forgive him maybe because he just saved her life. So like you were thinking there was a way out of it. Maybe Joel would like, she will see Joel be with Joel for a little bit, and then find out Joel's not as bad of a guy. He did something that hurt her, kind of situation. But nah, man, they went totally there, totally.
Yep.
There. But yeah, like Matt said this in the Discord, and I'm going to reiterate it again, and we can talk about this as like a whole scene. So basically, the clickers and stuff, they were basically burying themselves underneath other clickers that were frozen underneath everything, so they could stay like warmer and kind of basically be in this hibernation kind of situation.
Bro.
Things are going on, and they start like showing up and coming out. Everybody's getting ready. They're getting the little city and town they got prepared and everything else. And then we have the clickers, zombies, whatever you want to call it, invasion on the town.
Yeah.
Like, not gonna lie, I agree with Matt. That's one of the longest like zombie scenes ever of continuous like nothing but these things coming after different people. They were flipping the shots and stuff to different folks and stuff and where they were at in this town and station in the town, but it was still like one continuous scene of just that town being ravaged and being like just like just these things coming after them nonstop. And I thought it was done super well. One of the best action set pieces I've seen in television ever. Game of Thrones, I think, with like Battle of the Bastards and a couple of
It reminded me of Battle of the Bastards, the way it was so chaotic, you know?
Yeah, so chaotic, but so big too. Like it was like, bro, this is one of those another things that's a perfect example. When you watch a show that's like double the triple the money, and then you watch a show like this and they're able to do this, you're like, how the hell did those other people spend their money?
Yeah.
Because this I could see being a $20 million episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
they
I
had
can
to
see
really
it.
build that town and shit, you know? Those were real sets. Like,
Oh yeah, that stuff looked amazing and awesome. But yeah, you guys take turns talking about like that scene in particular.
Yeah, Maddie.
go for it, Brent. Okay, I'll go. Yeah, when I saw it, I just couldn't believe how long they were going with the attack because I was like, dude, this is like I've seen zombie movies where they don't do this. You know what I mean? This long, and for the most part, it looked like theater quality effects and shit like that. Kind of when he was fighting the big one with the flamethrower, I thought that the effects looked a little bad there, just weaker. But yeah, it was nonstop. It was crazy. Like I was pumped the whole time, especially when she was like running behind the fence and that one
Oh,
broke through was chasing
that's
them.
not even part of the town like section.
Yeah, that was
That's even
beginning.
another part of the show. But no, I will say this: when you're doing a show and you're not spending the $20 million budget, or whatever it is, like these huge budgets, I'm going to give you leeway
Yeah,
because you're right. 95% of that whole entire town being taken over scene looked fabulous, awesome. Couldn't pick out something bad. Except for like the little minor thing that you're talking about right there, possibly wasn't like the greatest looking of all time. But I'm going to give you a little leeway with that when everything else looks so good and you're not spending huge. Now, if you spend $20 million for the episode, I'm going to be like, bro, what the hell? Like, where did the money go? Like, you could have fixed that guy. You know what I'm saying? So.
It did remind me of the Game of Thrones thing, and it had a big dude. The other dude in Game of Thrones was big, but this one was like a super kill him. I was like, what in the world? Yeah, I don't like stuff like that. So I was just like, no. Covering my eyes a little bit. But now that freaking girl killed my man, she should have she should have gotten taken. I should have grabbed her leg and pulled her through the fence.
Obviously, Brandi doesn't like Abby very much. But with that being said, like I said, that's just amazing television. Some of the best things. I wish, like Adelia, who jumps on these shows, I wish she didn't like have anxiety when it comes to some of those kind of shows and stuff like that, because this would have been one. She would have, man, you could have had fun as all get out. If you don't have, like, if you're okay with being scared a little bit or whatever, this was like nonstop action.
Yeah.
Like, it was just crazy.
It was so good, I saw it twice in a row.
It's great. Like, I might even watch the episode again before the next episode comes out, because I do know that, like, progressing the story, that was the big battle, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's going to happen. That kind of let the chaos begin so that all the stuff can go. and now they can start telling the other story. The other part of the story is going to have things that happen here and there, right? That's like action packed a little bit or whatever, but it's not going to be as action packed as this particular episode. And that's one of the things that I hope people realize. Not every episode is going to be these like clickers trying to take over, a town or that big of a thing. So, like you got to know that going into it. The story is going to get toned down a little bit. But they did even things. It wasn't just because of the action. I know sometimes you watch something that's like, man, I love this because the action was super good, and like the story or whatever they're trying to tell or whatever isn't done that well. It's like I said, the very beginning of the episode, we saw Abby in this dream sequence where she's talking to herself and everything else, and she's going to see her dad like in her dream, like a nightmare or whatever. But you also get something built up for the other parts of like the story and stuff going on, because the stuff with Joel and stuff that we're definitely going to be talking about here in a minute, when that stuff goes down, or even before it goes down, you get like these really cool scenes where you have, Abby, I forget this guy's name right off the top of my head, but Abby's talking to the guy who was Dina's boyfriend, and they've been broke up for like a week. And there's even like a little funny segment where, yeah, like he's talking to Ellie right now.
You said Abby.
This particular, no, Abby. Oh, okay. I said Abby, whatever.
Yeah.
So like, anyway, they have a cool scene together. It's kind of funny where like he wakes her up and says, "You got to come with me," and they start talking about the Dina stuff because her and Dina kissed or whatever. And then like he was the boyfriend like a week ago, and he's like giving her a hard time, but he knows it wasn't really her; it was Dina that was probably the one instigating, like actually doing that stuff and everything. So like he's giving her a little bit of a leeway, but giving her a hard time about it. It was a funny scene, but in this scene, we get this part where Ellie's talking about, "I'll go with Joel."
Mm-hmm.
So first episode, she gave Joel a bunch of crap, everything else. Still think it's that way, and she's even acting that way. So you're like, well, she wants to reconcile maybe with Joel. She wants to be with Joel. She wants to be able to hang out with Joel and everything else. And I love that this sets this up, because what happens later in the episode is more heartfelt. It's that little setup, right? Like they didn't have to give us this little scene where they're talking back and forth and doing this, but they put it in the show for a reason, and they put it in there for a reason because as soon as what happens at the end of the episode happens, one of the things when you think about this episode is you go back and you look at this particular scene and you're like, man, that sucks. Abby was trying to be with Joel.
Ellie.
Ellie, I keep messing up, but Ellie she wants to be with Joel. She wants to hang out with Joel. She wants to talk to Joel for a reason. So maybe they can like get into better standing or whatever. And it just pulls at your heartstrings a lot more. Just adding this little scene in there.
Yeah, because that was the rough part of episode 1, seeing how estranged they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying Ellie's being an asshole and everything else and all this stuff. So
kind of was.
Ain't no kind of, she was being a butthole. But I mean, like, she's still a teenage. She's like 18, 19. I think she's actually 19 in this particular part of the show. She's being a teenage girl. It is what it is. Like, so yeah, I didn't really have a problem with it, but I know some people were starting to have problems with the way she was acting in the episode. We also had a scene that I thought was also good because it's the setup of the town getting together, going through drills, making sure they got everything ready because things are a little heightened because they've noticed a little clicker activity more than they had before. Mm-hmm. They're getting ready. I love the setup. They set it up. And everybody, when it comes to the thing and the town starts getting attacked by the clickers, everybody, most people, does their job, knows where to go. Yep. They're all getting their things. So it makes sense that like everything works well for the most part. And I also like the little thing they did during the town seizure from the clickers when, our guy Tommy, the brother of Joel, is standing out there and he's got a group of about 4 or 5 with him that are wearing like the tanks with fire, the flamethrowers basically.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And like 1 or 2 of them, just he turns around, looks at them, and the big dude's coming their way or whatever, or the clickers are getting closer to him, and he turns around and looks, and there's like a couple of them that just take off running. They're like, "Nah, dog, I'm out." And that makes it more realistic, right? Because not everybody's going to be brave. People are going to fall apart. These are regular, like, town folk people, right? Like, and everything. So, yeah, I really did think that even this part was a pretty good setup for the show. It's like, oh, it makes sense. They're able to take care of themselves. They've been training. It shows it. And then also throws in that realism of a couple of people not doing what they needed to do because of the fact that they were worried or scared or whatever. And that would happen in real life. I thought that was pretty cool as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also during that part, I will bring this up as well because I actually thought this was kind of cool. So we had the asshole guy at the very end of episode 1 that said what he said, but he comes and does like a true apology, like, hey, I was drinking and everything, I shouldn't have said it, all this stuff, I'm sorry, I made some sandwiches for y'all. Ellie's obviously being, again, teenage girl that's trying to, oh yeah, I'm this, trying to put that wall around herself to protect herself kind of situation. So she's not really into the apology a whole lot. But I thought it was pretty cool. They had this guy be like, you know what, man, I'm not a total asshole. Like, sorry about what I said. I said something I wasn't supposed to. We was drinking because it was New Year's, because this all takes place like right after New Year's and everything else. So like, he comes up and admits it. I'm glad they just didn't do the whole, oh, there's going to be a guy that's a total piece of crap, right? So now it's just a guy that made like a mistake, and he's apologizing for it and everything else.
And he made her sandwiches.
Yep, exactly. So I thought that was actually kind of a cool piece to throw in. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes this show so great. You can spend all day talking about that action sequence and everything else, but it's just all the stuff to set up. You got Abby out there in the cold, like waiting for Joel, or not really waiting for Joel, but they're out there waiting to see if any of these people come close so they can give warnings and everything. But she didn't know it was Joel. She happens to see 2 people on horses, and she's like trying to follow them, and that's when she gets in trouble right after that. And that's the scene where the fence stuff happens, man. Y'all go ahead, take it away.
That was Brandy's favorite part.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
That was when she was she fell down the mountain and then landed in the
Oh, dude. Yeah, right before that though, when she falls down the mountain and then she's basically in this graveyard of these like frozen clickers.
Oh my god!
And then she's like walking, trying to get out of it, and then like they start waking up as she's like trying to pass by, bro. And there's like at least 50 of them running after her, like as she's running as fast as she possibly can, bro. That was a whole badass scene. And then we get into the she gets behind that fence, and like, bro, she's being smashed down right there as those things are on top of it. The fence is caved in. I even thought it was cool with the detail here where like a couple of them were like trying to smash their hands through the fence so hard that it was actually tearing
ripping through.
It was ripping through their hand because they were like forcing their hands to try to get to her so hard. Man, bro. Oh my god. It was just like, you got cool little story moments, and then you would have like this stuff going on, man. Everything started going crazy. So damn good. So awesome.
That was not good. When I saw the hand, I was like, whoa, whoa. But now that I know what I know, I'm like, fucking take her. Pull under the fence. Oh.
So like, one of the things I'll show you right here real quick is I think this actress is playing Abby. Fabulous job.
Yeah.
Fabulous job. She, like the look on her face right here, because in the game, a lot of people have problems with it because it's Joel and Tommy that are together whenever they bump into Abby and like save her life. And they're all trying to be like supposed to be safe, wouldn't give out Joel's name for anything because they know whatever. And like they wouldn't have just said his name. Well, Tommy just says Joel's name, and he says it after they have somebody with them too. All that kind of like pisses some people off in the story. They're like, man, they wouldn't have did that. That's so dumb. And then it led to Joel and everything else. But this show changed a couple things. One of them is it's not Tommy with Joel. Tommy's at the town having a hero moment of trying to save this the town. And then we have it's Dina with Joel on this one. And this is right after Joel saves Abby's life. Abby's about to get eaten by one of the clickers. He shows up, shoots that thing in the head, drags her into this building right here. But because of the way it was set up, Dina couldn't see him even bring somebody with him. There's no warnings. So she's just calling out his name to make sure it's him and not something else. So she says his name, but it makes perfect sense. It doesn't make anybody look dumb. It's perfectly reasonable. His name gets said, and this is the look on Abby's face.
Yep.
When the name Joel gets said. And like, this actress did such a good job, man. So good. Like the look on her face, you knew it was kind of eating her up. She just got saved by this asshole.
But like,
he's Joel.
There's no other people named Joel in ever. That's stupid.
But she knows a description of him too. That he's like 6 feet tall.
Yeah. She even gives that description whenever she's about to start beating his ass. So like, yeah, she actually does have a description.
Like, there's no other 6 feet tall people named Joel. Shut up.
With
not in this world. Not in this world. How many people you think still alive, girl? They all dead.
A lot of them alive still. They were different areas.
She knew about the scar on the temple and shit too.
You have that town.
We don't know how many people are out there and still in the world.
Does have the scar as well, so that's another telling sign, almost like a tattoo, like they use to find real criminals. Brandi, yeah, you just don't like the fact that at the end of the thing, man, you're trying to make like things for it, but they do. Regardless, they do make the show makes it. The show makes more sense. So if you're watching the show and you never knew about the game, this is actually makes it a lot more clear, makes it a lot more like digestible. If you see what I'm saying,
yeah.
Because in the game, they thought that they, like Joel and Tommy makes a mistake, and they're like, well, his character wouldn't have made that mistake. But in the show, you can't say that anymore, and they set it up cleaner. With that being said, oh man, that's some like, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this right here.
No.
This right here, man, when all the chaos starts happening. Bro, this was a cool design too. The whole like
looks like the wall.
That it looks like the wall from like the Game of Thrones. Some people it was even attaching it to like Lord of the Rings because some of the things they did shoot about. Wait, see here, Adelia, can you just say the name of the battle?
Helm's Deep.
Lord of the Rings. Was it Helm's Deep?
I don't know.
Yeah, she was in the background. I was hoping she was probably paying attention because, like, she would know off the top of her head. But it might be Helm's Deep. But like the whole situation where they're storming that castle and you got the big wall there and they're trying to breach it and everything. So a lot of people compared it to that. But like I said, you could say Game of Thrones. But it's like really cool, like different design, like what they did to try to like guard it. Where like these slides they had come down. I was like, what the hell are they going to be for? They're not going to stop anything. But then it's for them to be more easily roll the barrels with grease or gas or whatever it is down on top of them so they could shoot it and then set it on fire, man. That was pretty badass design, dude. I was having fun watching this. That's why you did not see me like hear me. I wasn't, bro. I was like captivated during this whole scene.
Yeah.
I will say there were times during this episode where it looked like the blizzard was everywhere, and then there were certain moments and certain shots where like the blizzard wasn't happening. It seemed like so. I think they messed up on some editing things where it looked like it was calmer at certain points, but at the time of this battle, like the blizzard's supposed to be going on real hardcore at that point.
Yeah, yeah, because they could barely make it to that cabin that she was at.
Oh yeah, I'm just skipping through some of this, man. This whole thing right here. Oh, there's Big Boy.
Yep.
There's Big Boy coming to do the wall, baby.
He got him to chase him down instead of going after his lady in the building.
You know, this one thing that I noticed here, Matt. He ain't got no dick. Yeah, I pulled you on screen because people were I pulled you on screen for a second because I was trying to get the name of the battle. I think Matt got it. It was Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings that a lot of people like was referencing when they were talking about the scene where like they're at the wall and they're like shooting down and they're trying to stop the clickers from getting into the
that's Helm's Deep.
Yeah, so Helm's Deep. That was it. But Matt got it, so I just took
Okay.
you out.
Sorry, I
It.
had my headphones off and I realized you'd pulled me on screen.
No, that's the only reason why I did it was because of that. I wanted to get the name of that battle because I couldn't think of it. But man, this whole thing, like I said, I'm skipping through it. Here's Big Daddy again, dude. Brandi, what do you think about this?
What do I think of that? He's ugly, and I was like, no, shoot him down now. Like, get his ass.
What
I
if
don't know.
we were in the apocalypse and Justin turned into that guy?
I'm sorry. He turned into that guy, and he's a killer now, and he's gonna come after me and kill me. Oh, sorry, you're going down.
That's messed up. But yeah, this whole entire scene, like I said, I'm just kind of skipping through here, but it is so.
This was movie quality. This
But
whole
didn't
Movie-
you see? Didn't you see
been-
some of the guys? They got bit, and then you see some of the people shooting them because they're like, "Look, I got bit. You got to kill me now."
Oh yeah, yeah. There was like one particular scene where one guy, he's still in control of his faculties. He hasn't turned into a clicker yet, but he's obviously gotten bit by one, and he hands the guy the gun to shoot him.
Yep.
Like that, bro. Like I said, those details are awesome, man. Like I said, you can be mad because you don't care about what happens at the very end of this episode and the way the story gets told in a certain way, but you cannot. This episode, like right here, Matt said it perfectly. We said it last night. This could have been a movie. I would have walked out of the theaters if they could have added a few extra minutes or whatever to make it movie length. I would have walked out of the theater with the stuff that I saw with a couple of things added to it, paid full price ticket price, would have walked out with a smile on my face and felt better than I've watched like some of the last movies I've seen. Like straight up.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and like it was nonstop. Like it wasn't like a few guys get attacked down the street here and then we'll cut to this. It was like, nah, dude, they're attacking everybody everywhere, and
Bro, they was
They
going through
released
here.
the hounds. I liked when they released the hounds.
It was 100% like hardcore. And then, like even when you get to the spots that you think a normal show would be a little more calm, you get here, you got Joel and them making it to the cabin, and that he can see in the distance what's going on. Like, oh shit, man! Like the town's trying to get overrun, so he's trying to hurry up and get there. And you see them here, they get up with a couple of people here, and you're thinking like, oh man, maybe they can get some help or whatever. It's done good. Literally, Abby getting them to introduce themselves, and they're saying what their name is and everything else, like all that good stuff. And then there he goes. She lets it be known.
Yep.
It's Joel, the guy they were looking for the whole time. And like back there in the background, you see the blizzard and everything else. And like I said, all the chaos is happening. He can see it through that window. The town out there, it's just, bro. And I'm telling you,
it's so ridiculous how she found him. Like out of every place in the world you go, and you just happen. Nah, I don't believe it. Without technology and stuff, and how she found him. Nah.
well,
He found her.
Nah.
Well, yeah, he found her in the episode. I get what she's saying is like, how did they even get to that point to even be that close to him?
Yeah.
Well, time has passed since when we saw them at the grave. That was right after the shootings, which happened
it was
like
5 years later.
ago.
But like,
so there's a lot of time that's passed. The only you got somewhat of a point, a little bit. Like I can somewhat agree with you, but at the same time, like I said earlier, like you were trying to use, there's other people named Joel, or there's other people this. Well, there's not that many people named Joel anymore. There's not that many civilizations anymore. Everybody's dead. Like it's not like you're trying to find somebody
so
out of
went
millions
to
of
every
people
place. Every place in the United States, they went to every place, knew where they were going. They happened to look for, and they found this guy. No, there's no.
No.
She's been wanting to find him for the whole time.
No,
he has a purpose.
That's not exactly what happened. You might get some of the explanation through the season of like how she ended up finding them, at least getting close to where they were at, because there's things that happens like while they traveled. They knew the direction he went. You're right. Don't know exactly what location, but you're going to hear signs over people. You do bump into some people that are survivors, and things like that. So it'll be, I think, a little better explained as the season goes on. I get what your point is. At the moment, I don't totally agree with it, just because the world population is not like it is today. There's not probably any town within thousands of miles of that place. Like, it's not like today.
That kind of bugged me a little bit though, about how close the cabin was to the town, and like they had no idea it was there.
Well,
To me,
they knew
that
the
was kind
town
of
was there. They were actually spying on the town. Abby
no,
and
no, no.
them.
I'm saying how the town didn't know that those people were at that cat, like, because they
No,
had
yeah,
supplies and shit there.
that's a possible thing that I would say I would agree with a little more, is that place is pretty close to that town. So like,
Yeah,
how come like it wasn't like watched? I would almost, if it was me and I was that town and you had a set up like this, I'd almost have this as like a little headquarters right
outpost.
outside the
Yeah,
wall. To be
yeah,
honest with you, because look how good it looks. You know what I'm saying? It's not completely tore down. It looked like a really nice place back in the day, before the clickers took over.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but with that being said, Abby knows it's Joel. Their whole thing was searching for Joel, and they find him, and she does what she does in the game. There's a little bit of a difference here. Like, she does shoot him in the leg because he tries to say something or whatever. She shoots him in the leg, and they put a tourniquet on it because she doesn't want him to just bleed out. She wants him to suffer. Now, the one thing cool about the show is that she's able to describe why she's doing what she's doing more thoroughly, because in the game, like I said, you didn't know why she did it.
Yeah.
She just does it. There's not a lot of talking here, but she's able to talk in the show. Like I said again, actress does an amazing job of playing this role. Like, the look of like anger and like all this like rage and everything else building up, did a fantabulous job, man. Like, straight up 100%. Like, nothing I can complain about her in this episode. I actually thought Ellie did a good job in the episode too with the part she had, but she
Yeah.
goes and gets the golf club like she does in the game.
That girl doesn't look like she wanted to do all the stuff that.
Oh, no. Yeah, she was like the one that didn't want to be part of it. The one that was like helping them, that was supposed to be the
That
nurse.
gave the needle. Yeah. Gave Dina the
Like,
needle.
that gave Dina the needle that just put her to sleep, that didn't kill her. Like, that kind of thing. She didn't want to be part of anybody else being hurt.
Mhm.
Now, on the journey, she wants Joel to get justice because of the fact that was her family too.
Mhm.
Like, that's why all these people are here. Joel killed their family. Like,
Yeah.
straight up.
Mhm.
So I understand 100% the revenge factor that's going on here. And here's a swing right here. Abby, in almost mid-swing, she starts beating the crap out of his leg.
Yeah. Oh, that was brutal.
Bad dude, and she's like beating the total crap out of him, man.
And you know what? Why that was cool too? Because on the third hit, I think you could hear the
Mhm.
club broke.
Yeah,
And that's
club
what she
broke.
was stabbing him with, you know?
Club broke. We got Ellie. She sees the cabin or whatever. She gets there first before the other guy does, because they split up to try to cover ground faster. She gets there a little quicker. She starts hearing things, and you see right here, she's trying to sneak in, and not lucky for her, but she comes in about to be blasting, and they ended up catching her because somebody was by the door. They're holding her down, and man, this is why I say the actress playing Ellie. If you go back, I know Brandi won't, but if you go back and watch this, that scene where Ellie is begging him to get up. Like, Joel, get up, please. Joel, get up. Get up. There's a moment, and I don't know if this was like direction or if it's Pedro Pascal. There's a moment where his hand moves, and he almost like blinks or opens his eye a little bit or something like that. And it's like, maybe there's a chance at that moment. But all it does is his hand kind of flinches. He kind of blinks a little bit and everything else. Man, the reaction on her face as this is going down, she does a very good job of acting and portraying this part. And there it goes. The difference in the game was she just whacked it. She had hit him so many times in the face that finally she just whacked him like she was going for the par 4 over there at Augusta National in Georgia. And that's what ends up taking him out. But in this one, the club had already broken. She just stabs him through the neck. Like, bro. Great scenes, great emotions from both the actresses. Joel even does a great part, and everything else. Pedro Pascal. This moment where she goes over there and just lays on him. And there were probably people that were thinking, because hey, this is a show. Pedro's a big part of the show. There's no way he's dead.
Yeah.
Even though it looks like she's crying and everything, there's no way she's dead. You see Abby's team walking away, getting out of there, and then you'll see Joel and them going back to camp. And as they're going back to camp, she looks back behind her
Oh, there he is.
as he's being dragged behind the horses. There's no chance he's alive. He's dead and gone. It is over with. Pedro Pascal, he will be part of flashbacks. There will be flashbacks that will fill in a couple of things here and there about Joel and the relationship with Joel and Abby and everything else. Or not Abby, but Joel and Ellie. Actually, Joel and Abby too, because you'll find out more about how she figured out where they possibly went, all this kind of stuff that happened here and there before this actually happened. You'll be going and seeing some of the stuff that happened before this part. But and all that, so we'll be able to see that as part of the story. This is going to be a revenge tale, and it's a weird revenge tale because you just saw one character get revenge, now another character is going to try to get revenge, and it's balls to the wall, and that's all it is. If you want to know how shitty revenge can be, and you getting into that mindset, you'll watch this. You watch even the story told in the games, but you'll watch it here, and maybe you'll change your mind because straight up 100%, that's what this turns out to be, is this revenge tale. It was already kind of that, but it definitely turns into that. The circle of violence. You did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you, and I'm going to do this to you, and then you're going to do this to me, and you just keep going and keep going around in circles until there's nobody left. You know, if you go eye for an eye, then everybody would be walking around blind kind of situation. And that's what's going to happen, with this story. And I thought this episode was one of the best episodes I've seen on television, period.
No.
There's some Game of Thrones television episodes that'll be up there. This is going to be kind of up there for me. I'll always remember this episode and how great and good it was done. Like I said, some people like Brandi may not watch it again because she doesn't like what happens to Joel at the end of it.
Nope. I will not watch it.
For everybody else that understands what's going to be done and told as far as the story goes and everything else that keeps watching and can enjoy the rest of the story, this technically what happened to Joel needed to happen to be able to tell the story they're trying to tell.
Did not need to happen.
And we're going to see, because I'm going to tell you, and I said this last night after I watched the episode, the great part about the game, as far as the story goes on both games, and I get why the game pisses people off because of the way things are structured and not explained very good and how they have to do things. I get it, understand it. But Joel, so at the end of episode 1, Joel does something. If my son was on that operating table, I do what Joel does. I know it's bad. I know I'm killing some innocent people. I know it. But that's my son on the table. So I make that decision. And the crazy part about it is, if I was on the other side and I was in Abby's position and that was my son that got shot in the head by Joel as he was trying to go save his daughter or somebody that was taking the place of his daughter, I'm going to search Joel's ass down and I'm going to do as worse or maybe worse than what she did to him. Like straight up. Like this is how it goes. And that's the cool part about this story is you can be mad because like you love Pedro Pascal's performance. You love the character that you got to fall in love with in the first game, in the first season of this show. But that's just the truth. And I told my son that from like the very beginning because my son loved Last of Us, favorite game of all time. He beat the first game like 15 times. He beat the second game a little less, but he did go through it multiple times. And he would talk about the dislike of why he didn't like the story, and me and him would have discussions and stuff. And more to the story.
Mhm.
And when I told him what they did in this episode, I was like, this is something they changed before Joel dies in the episode. He was like, oh man, if that would have happened in the game, to me, that would have made it a lot better, like kind
Mhm.
of situation. So like he gets and understands that. But yeah, I told him. I said, I know a lot of people didn't like the second game because they killed Joel, they kill him early on to finish up to start telling the story they're wanting to tell with that second part of the story. But like I said, it's just that weird thing. I would have done what Joel did, but I also would have done what Abby did if you put me on whatever side. Like both of them, I don't think did anything wrong. But people's gonna hate Abby like Brandi does because they met Joel first. They heard his story first, and his story was told really good and really cool, and you got that connection with Ellie and all that. So she's going to side with Joel, even though Joel did something bad as well. Like straight up, 100%.
Nope.
Well, we've been going for
The
40
Abby.
minutes. I knew we were going to go a little longer when you have an episode of great television like we had.
It's
Mhm.
not great. It was not great.
You know,
Girl,
that
you
was
watched
honestly
every
like,
second.
dude, that was
Girl,
better than a lot of
you
movies.
watched every second of it. You watched
Yeah.
every second of it.
No, like if, like you said, if that would have been like a half hour longer, and they would have put that out in theaters, people would have paid to.
Bro, I'd have paid. I would have paid. If they told me they were releasing that episode
Yeah.
at the movie theater next week, just the episode, they didn't even add to it. Maybe they adjust the price like $2 or $3 on the ticket.
Yeah.
I'd go in there, sit down, and watch that on the big screen
Hell yeah.
and enjoy the shit out of it because of the sound quality and everything else that's out there. I would have went and did that. I would go and do that in a heartbeat. They put that thing in the movie theater next week. I'll go out there and I'll watch it. I'll pay money to watch it. I'll eat me some popcorn, get me a drink, and chill and watch that episode on the big screen because I think that would be enhanced. I think that would be super enhanced on the big screen with the big sound and everything else. I think that'd be a fun hour-long session at the movie theater.
Yeah, and they just told a great story in an hour. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's
Now
nothing-
it's all better because you watched the first season, and even that next episode that we watched, you got to see some things that built up to that moment. That like if you only get that by itself, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. Like I still think people would still love the 30-35 minutes worth of town being wrecked.
Yeah.
Like even if you didn't know the rest of it and why so and so was doing this or doing that. But that being said, yeah, man, it was a fun time. It was great. I reiterate again what I said at the very beginning of this review. What Matt said whenever one of the things he said when we were talking about it in the Discord after we watched it. Like it's good to be watching something good.
Debatable.
Hey, you might not like Joel died, but you gotta admit it's better than Daredevil. You didn't even finish it.
Oh, fuck Daredevil. Sorry.
Yeah. So, we've had a couple of crap. We've had a couple of crap shows that we've had to deal with here, not in a short period of time.
Nothing worse than Daredevil.
Hopefully, Andor won't be. It'll be a good one.
Heard some great things. We'll be trying to cover it too.
Yep.
That actually starts tomorrow night, and I don't know if we're going to be able to watch it and record tomorrow night, but we definitely are going to try to watch it so we can maybe record the next day, at least at the latest, and get that out to you as well. Thank you guys for joining the post credits. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Brandi, for being here with me. Please like, subscribe, do all the things. You can join the Discord for free. Should be in the description down below. We also have a Ko-fi account, coffee account, whatever you want to call it. You can join that and come on these reviews. That's one of the things we do is we watch the shows together and then we get on here and talk about them after we see them and stuff like that. And you could join us if you wanted to at certain tiers amount, or hey, just throw $1, do that, or whatever it is we got, like the lowest tier will be perfectly fine as well. It was just thank you guys, man. And thank you for watching. And like I said, I want to repeat it. Like and subscribe and hit the bell thing. With that being said, until next time.
Fuck Abby.
Go Clickers.
No.